because I'm mindful that like a lot of people that are on radio, especially radio shows that are focused on music's really important. But I often wonder like, I wonder if this has, because it's easy to do something that you love and it become work, and then it's like work, I love it, and like hard to maintain that like I love this, man, and I get to do it as work. So like for you, what does music mean to you?
Music was always like that was disgusting. I'm so sorry. I just hope that doesn't come up on camera. That's crazy. I beg you guys, don't do that slow motion shot of it just flying through my gap tooth. Are you crazy? That was crazy. I'm so sorry. No, music was a huge part of, like, music was always at the forefront. I wanted to work in Channel U. I wanted to work in like places that did like music. Of course, like at the time I would have settled for working anywhere in media, but I loved music, and presenting almost came as like a second passion because I got to talk about music. These times I was shy, so presenting definitely came as something I had to learn. But music was always where it was at. Worse because I had older cousins, so they were allowed to go out and party, and I wasn't allowed to go out and party. So that means I'd be at home stuck watching the music videos that they'd already be out going
Dancing
to exactly
listening,
listening to.
yeah.
So Funky House, all of it, like Channel U was who I was. One of them, two of them, so the crew of them. Why was that on Channel U? For that platform, I wouldn't have even.
Oh, Channel U is iconic.
I would have never even known about that. So during the infrared times and Bluetooth times, I'd go up to the phone with like my little Nokia phone. I was in year 6 because I remember being in the playground and being so excited. Chipmunk and N-Dubs had come out with a song called Defeat You. I will defeat you, you should never mention me. Are you crazy? Sorry, do you know how much me... I ran the roads.
With that
in my heart, I ran the roads.
Yeah.
I will defeat you. Should never ever speak about me again in your life.
The thing is, I really believe you.
Fraser said, I remember the days we were poor. When 5 men were tripping for a £10 draw. Nah, guys. So here was me. Yeah. Here was me. We had like one of those like big TVs because my mum never let the past go, so the TV was from like 1995. But it wasn't flat screen, so you know it had a back off, but it was still like 50 inches. So my mum was so proud of it, yeah. And that means that the speaker system was banging as well. So I took, you know, like I don't know how to explain the phone to you, but it was that little Nokia phone, and it came in pink and white. Well, one was pink and then one was white, and then you flip it up like you thing it like that. Yeah. I'd go up to
what was that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
It was
exactly
new at the time, and it was
about.
freaking expensive.
Yeah.
Why is my phone £150?
Be
serious with yourself.
It's iconic.
What? It's expensive, but it was new when I got it, and I thought I was sick. Anyway, I got up to the TV, and I'd go on the voice recorder kind of thing, and I'd go like this, yeah. And I was recording however many seconds it would allow me to record. 20 seconds, good enough. Once that red dot hit, I was like, great. All you hear in me is school. Yes, it is. What? I was like sending it to everybody. Yeah, guys, I got the new song. What? Only 2 minutes still. Like, it's exclusive, innit? Guys have to wait till next week for the rest of it. I
It
loved
must have been your ringtone.
It was my everything. I loved music. Like when that song came out, I don't want to sound crazy. I cried. Again, I was in year 6. Yeah.
Okay.
I was actually in year 6.
Context,
No, please, guys, I was in year 6. I started crying. I said I couldn't because I used to love Chipmunk. I used to love Dappy. I thought Talisa was sick. I said, no, guys. Guys, all of my favourite people I cried when that song came out. I went on YouTube, on Google to go type out all the lyrics, everything. Okay, so that's like one of my serious, like Channel U was like my thing, my go-to. Loving UK music as well, and UK music being a big part of me and who I am. Like it got to a point where I loved UK music even more than I loved American music, and I was on Twitter in secondary school, like in year 9, beefing with older people, saying, no man, UK music is where it's at. Like Talking Hardest is one of the best songs ever made. Like, what are you guys talking about? So that's where my love of UK music came from. Like grime, the whole era of something new, something different, something not American, something not 50 Cent, basically. So I still loved them, but loved UK music as well. And then we got into like secondary school. And secondary schools are very interesting because love of music became more eclectic the more people that I met. And this is going to sound so weird and random.
In your mind.
Yeah. So as I got into year 9 now, so up until year 9, it was just like mainly dancehall, mainly Afrobeats, a lot of Wizkid. I would know all the lyrics, again, as someone who's not even West Indian, to all the Vybz Kartel songs. Why do I know every single song? As in from beginning to end, I can recite.
Did you?
I remember when...
What's your favourite Vybz Kartel song?
Diamond, need your vagina. I used to love that. There was one song, that took my heart by storm, and it was by. It was by. Ah, shit. But I like to sing the song though.
It's the fact that you said the intro just now that took me out.
I used to love that song.
The beginning.
Because Vybz Kartel, okay, I remember being in sixth form and just talking about Vybz Kartel, like a music critic, because his songs, sometimes you really do have to like break them down. No man never tell you this yet, baby, me love you. Take off your pants, Who are you talking to like that? Like, so I'm scared of you. So first of all, so this is like me and my friends deconstructing this in our free period. No man has never told you this. I love you. Now take off your knickers. Like, babe.
It's fine.
Is this meant to bring up my self-esteem? Or like what? So that's how we used to talk about Vybz Kartel. We used to literally deconstruct every lyric and love it as well because it used to be so funny. Like,
have you got Caribbean friends? A lot of Caribbean friends?
Oh, I've got a lot of all types of friends.
Okay.
But mainly West Indian and mainly Nigerian as well.
So is that maybe where why the fact that you know so many Vybz Kartel songs, or do you think it's just like
Africans in general love dancehall music?
What? Yeah.
Africans love dancehall music. Love it. We love it, man. So I think that's what it is as well. Everybody loved, even my older cousins, you go to a Shubs back in the day, everybody was listening to dancehall music. It was his own section. Yeah. So you'd only listen to African music if you're in a hall party or with your friends more time. So dancehall was it, especially in the 2000s where it was the best. Of course it was, it's ever been. So and then I got into secondary school, 9ish now, and I had friends that listened to some weird shit. But I loved it because I'm like, this sounds so good. And that's how you know that music is music. If it sounds great, it sounds great. I started getting into Paramore. Listen to in your spare time. Listen to Misery Business. My babe was a pick me, but she was doing it for her generation. she was doing it. I'm in the business of misery. Let's take it from the. She's like punk rock. Yeah. She's got a body like an hourglass, it's ticking like a clock. I said, rah. So she's talking about a guy that she took from the girl that's meant to be the hot girl in school, and she was like the nerd. It's given, that cartoon that's like beat it chick, but she was the one that was saying beat it to the hot girl in school. So she's like the nerd, but I got the guy still. I was like, rah, that song, 10 out of freaking 10. Great song, great video, great everything. And I remember going to McDonald's when I was like young-ish, and they gave you, when they used to give you like little radio things, and you press one of the songs and then a song would play, like 10 seconds of a song. Very random. This is like in your Happy Meals.
Was it red?
I was still in secondary school. Yeah, I can't remember, but it's like little like, not radios, but like little like things that when you press it, like it comes out of a song from a... It doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's very much a side part to the story. Because I remember basically in McDonald's I got that toy and I played a song, and then it's a song that one of my friends in school really liked by this group, and I don't know why we love them, but 2009 was a different era completely. So nobody, once you go and Google them, nobody say anything, So they were called Tokyo Hotel. But they were German. So I called Tokyo Hotel, and one of them was dressing like he was from Tokyo. And the other one was a Rastafarian. Like, we didn't understand. So it was two twins, and they were white, and they were German, and they do their songs in German and then do it in English. Why would I go and learn the German songs? What? Again, like, I was opening my mind to different stuff. I was like, nah, this music is good. Worse, the guy that had dreadlocks, I'm in year 9 in a different class, is the closest thing to a black person that I can even see. So I love you already. Like, I love everything that's going on here. They had lip piercings. I was invested. I remember being 14. I went to a Justin Bieber concert for the first time. These times I was cussing Justin Bieber. I didn't want to listen to one song. After that show, I started crying.
No, Henrie cries when she likes music.
What? I went to a Justin Bieber concert, And because I only like bits of him because he collaborated with Chris Brown. And again, for me, I'm like, I need to draw to something that speaks
parallels,
to me.
yeah.
Exactly. So now he's got a song with Chris Brown. And I'm like, okay, cool, I can listen to it. I don't like your verse. I like Chris Brown, but I like the song. Chris Brown didn't even come out. It was just Justin. I was crying. I said, wow, I see it. I understand.
You're a believer.
I wasn't a believer, but I understood what was happening.
Yeah.
It was a lot. Like, and the music was so good. Like, I loved it. And I was like, this guy is an artist. What? So music speaks to me in just a different way. And I understood from growing up that I can't even limit to myself. Even if I wanted to, I can't even limit myself to one specific type of music. Me, that even when I get home, my mum listens to a completely different type of music, even to me. And my mum is another big influence as well, because she loved of Kylie Minogue. La la la.
Let me tell you something. Kylie Minogue, there's one song. There's no point me even making this.
You don't remember the song?
I can't remember the song. But Kylie Minogue has got a song that is it slaps. It absolutely slaps. Oh, what is the song?
What other music does she have? Is it the guy with the one with Jason Donovan?
Do you remember how that goes?
It's slow. I remember that.
There's it's got pace to it. The song that I'm thinking of has got pace to it. I can't remember, but yeah, no. I understand why your mum like Kylie Minogue, because
my mum was, she's exactly, you see how I was saying like the whole family's eclectic? My mum loved, like my dad would be listening to like the whole 50 Cents and the whole, I come from Brooklyn. My dad used to be playing some like crazy songs in the car. That's how, hop in the street, they call it, and we're just speeding down. Okay, right. So my dad was blasting all types of music, whereas my mum like loved the pop side of it. So really, you're right. Like all of my life kind of speaks into each other in that same kind of way. My mum though, she's so funny. I remember she used to be like, "Oh, I was listening to one song in Nigeria. This song was going off." Bear in mind, she's from Sierra Leone. And in Nigeria, this is the music that we used to play. And she sang, "Last night, Jide saved my life." And I said, "Who, honey?" She said, "Last night, Jide saved my..." Jide? You reckon in America they're talking about freaking Jide? Come on, be serious with yourself. Be for real. Be for real.
No, that is so funny.
Last night, crying. Jide. Hello, her and that Jide were in an entanglement. She's now thinking of all the Jides around the world. Like, maybe that's why she came to this country, to come find herself a Jide. Like, I don't know. Too funny.
No, that's hilarious. Yeah.
So like stuff like that. My mum listened to like all types of pop music, all types of like songs that people would never think that I would listen to, but because she listens to them, so I know. I'm trying to think of a really good example. I wanna know what love is.
Oh yeah, black people love that song. They
They
love ballads. Them power ballads.
Yeah.
Forget
Give
it.
me your hand.
Yeah.
Do you feel
Yeah.
my heart? But I feel like not a lot of people, even
That's
in
a
my
tune.
generation, even know it. Like, yeah.
That's a tune.
Do you feel the same? Or am I only dreaming? Now, if I say this to somebody else, my age, that is, when I say my age, like 27, 25, 26, 27, push 28, I don't know if they would know it. And I don't know if that's me being me, but it's like my older cousins would know it. Like those that are like 30, because that 3 years actually means something. And it really does, because you would have gone and you 3 years, 7, 8, and 9. So with people my age, I'm like, what, you guys don't know this? Oh, it's just me. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, no, them.
But yeah,
there.
me and music, different. My mum used to have like a whole like stack of CDs. My dad used to be a DJ. His name was Double H, so for Henrie and Henrie. Oh.
Is his name Henrie too?
Yeah, he named me after himself. Don't mind him.
Very soon. But I actually love your name.
Oh, is it? Oh, thank you.
Love it.
Thanks.
Love,
no, my dad
love
was
it.
like, yeah, I don't care if it's a boy or girl, I'm just naming this one after me. That's what's happening. So he's Henrie, because I think he wanted to name, if I was a boy, then I would have like literally been named after my granddad, I'm guessing. But because he wanted successor, what do you call it? He wanted a junior.
Yeah.
He was like, alright, cool, you're Henrie, and then my brother is called my granddad's name.
Got you.
So yeah, my love of music definitely comes from my dad.
Yeah.
100%. He even had like, he used to have a record label over in Nigeria.
Oh wow.
I know. I was like, oh, okay, because every single time I'd like go into my parents' room, I just see him on his laptop like constantly, and I'm like, what are you doing, sir? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna make a record label, and if you Google it, it's called Mo Hits Record. Mo Hits? Let me not make that up. Hold on. Please, before that's Don Jazzy, and I'm just. Hey, that would be hilarious. But he signed one woman that sorry, it's even making me cry. So funny. He signed one woman, I forgot her name now, but like the whole music video, people used to love that song. I know, like it was like a whole thing, but then he didn't pursue it because he just decided to go corporate. But he was like, yeah, I loved it. So it's so interesting that like you're in music and that you work in the music industry, because he loved the music industry when he was growing up as well.
Oh, so you followed in his footsteps, low key, but high key,
and better as well. One Henrie has to do it.
One Henrie has to do it.
If it's not you, it's me.
Yeah, one Henrie had to do it. I love that.
100%.
So that's the journey from music, the journey from family, other things that are important to you. So what do you do? As much as I know that a lot of people that love music, when I ask them, just even in their own life, like, what do you do for you? They're like, oh, I like listen to music. Yeah. Which I completely understand. Yeah. But away from music, what else does Henrie like doing?
I love going to church. I do. I don't like missing church. I love going to church. I like eating food. I love watching telly.
What are you watching at the moment?
I have recently just finished The Capture.
Give me a bit of a synopsis.
It's on BBC. I can't because I'm going to ruin it.
Oh, it's one of them ones.
Watch it, but it's a UK crime drama. Name me, okay, I don't want to say name me one thing, but there's a lot of things. I've watched almost everything. It feels like to this day I still watch EastEnders. Started watching it when I was 5. Watching it now.
My cousin's the same.
I love EastEnders.
My cousin exactly. She literally broke down EastEnders for me yesterday. It's ironic you even say that you love EastEnders.
Was EastEnders on yesterday?
No. We were talking at dinner about EastEnders. Yeah. And me, my mum, and her aunt hadn't watched EastEnders we haven't watched it in like 15 years. She's like, right, let me give you a breakdown. Such and such. This happened. You remember this person? So basically, I was like, nah, you need a YouTube channel. It's been going on in the square.
Going on, yep. Love EastEnders. And people always like cuss me about it, like, why do you still watch it? But it's just good TV. What can I say? It's a nice and easy drama just to get into. Half an hour, done.
Yeah.
Nice little break. Do you know what I'm saying? You can take it anywhere. I love it, except for outside of the UK. Because I tried to watch it in like Portugal. They're like, no, you don't have the rights.
I hate when that happens when you go abroad.
You don't have the right to watch it here. I was like, babe. Anyway, so yeah, TV is a big one. I love watching telly. Yeah.
Do you think you would want to be on telly?
Presenter, yeah. Acting, probably no. Okay. I hate acting.
Did you go drama school or anything like that?
I did drama when I was in secondary school. I went to Sylvia Young actually. Okay. Yeah, which is I only went there not like as school because you know some people went there Monday to Friday. I only did it as like a weekend thing because my dad was like pushing me. So when I was young, I was like quite shy. Even like I had stages in life where I was either like the biggest, boldest character you've ever seen, or I was so timid that I don't even want to talk again. So I had a stage where I was so timid and so shy and so like into my own self that my dad was like, I need to get this out of you. So he started paying for me to go to Sylvia Young. I was like, oh, fair enough. I'll take this. Nerve-wracking. Hated being in front of people. Hated like having to do anything in front of people. Did like little acting and singing things there. And then, left after a while. Yeah.
Let's go back to the church bit. Yeah. How long have you been going to church? And have you always been a woman of faith? Have you grown up in a Christian environment? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I'd say that I'd grown up in a Christian environment. But I stopped going to church when I was 14. I literally just, like, rediscovered faith and God and serving God. Because I don't really say I'm a Christian anyway. I just say that I'm a servant of God. You know what I'm saying? Like, God is God at the end of the day. Yeah. So, but obviously I believe in the Bible, etc. So, I kind of just rediscovered it like maybe like 3-4 years ago now. Nothing crazy.
What caused the rediscovery?
Because I remember, the phase that I had when I was like quite a recluse, or I remember being in uni and like not really having a spiritual connection to anything. And I'm like, this just feels weird. Like, how am I just waking up every day and I don't feel anything about anything? Like, I'm just like living the day as the day goes. Like, what does that mean? what does that mean? So I was like, no, I don't want this. Like, I want to reconnect with God. I want to. And I tried, but then I just like fell out of it again. And then I remember like after graduating, got back home now. My mum was going to church, but I just wasn't going with her. And I was like, I don't want to go to your church. I kind of want to find a church that I like. And that suits me as well. And then, I don't know, throughout that time I was just like trying to like pray and like reconnect, because I just didn't like not having spirituality. Like I didn't like not having something, do you know what I mean? Kind of a faith or God to hold on to. Do you know what I'm saying? So I felt like I had to, because I was still like feeling a bit shy after I left uni. I was still like, yeah, I can make people laugh on a one-to-one basis, but if you put me in a room of people, not that I'm a jester or anything, do you know what I mean, that I need to be making people laugh, but I'd be like saying the wrong things, or like I tried to land a joke and it just wasn't landing, and everything just became like social anxiety. Do you know what I mean? So like the more that I was like trying, or the more people that I met, the more I felt like I had something to prove. But now I realise that I don't. Do you know what I mean? Now I realise that I don't. But I felt like I had something to prove, and I don't know. Everything was just like up in my mind. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but there was so much like going on in my head that when it actually came to like speaking, I now couldn't say anything. I was fumbling over all of my words. Even the presenter that I wanted to be, like, it felt like a joke every single time I said to someone, oh yeah, you want to be a presenter, that I wanted to be a presenter, they'd be like, oh yeah, haha, kind of thing. I'd be like, oh my gosh, is this ever going to be real? Like, so I'm like, yeah, I need to ground myself in something. I need to ground myself in God, knowing that through God I can do anything, and if it's God's timing and not my timing, then I'm going to be completely content with where I am now, with what I'm doing now. I won't have to look at anybody else's journey, because God's got something for me. Or do you know what I mean? Like I love having God to rely on, because when I was relying on myself and my own thoughts, I was just driving myself crazy. I was driving myself crazy. Nothing was making sense. I was 23 calling myself old.
Yeah, no.
Even though now at 27, I'm even the most first. Okay, what? Even at 27, sorry, let's let me come. Even at 27, I feel like I'm the youngest I've ever felt and even been and even looked and even. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I feel, I am not even just feel, because it would be like saying you're 50 and you feel 25. I literally am so young. But at 23, I was looking at what everybody else was doing. I was like, shit, I'm getting old. Like, what's going on? So I really just had to like cut that loose. I had to cut Satan loose. Yeah. And literally pick up God and like move forward, or else you will never like. Yeah. I hear you, and I think it's powerful that I think in every spiritual journey, I personally think that it's very important to get to a point where you either have questions or you leave and come back. I think there is such a power in that, because before then, I think in a lot of ways, especially, I can only really speak from a Christian worldview, but in the experiences I've had and people I know, like just going somewhat like through the motions, for me looks very disconnected. It was. And there isn't any depth, and you're kind of just going through literally the motions. I feel like if you don't question it, if you don't prod it, if you don't unpack it for yourself, and like actually be honest about parts of the faith that you find challenging. So whether it's like, I just don't understand why tithing matters, how that makes sense, or whether it's, I don't, like, me and my boyfriend are cracking on, like I don't understand how I'm supposed to reserve that. I think having all of those questions are so healthy for developing a real and organic and truthful relationship with God. Because for every question there's an answer. Yeah, 100%. 100%, and there's a fundamental truth about it. Yeah, absolutely. And I think... and do you know why God is so good? Because like, even in the word of the Lord, do you know what I mean? It says test it out. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? God even gives you... Test me and try me. He gives you the option. And that's what I love about God, because he doesn't force you. Me that I've been disconnected for almost a decade, God doesn't force your hand to be like, yeah, come on. Let's go. You have to do this. It's literally down to, if you want to, good for you. If you don't want to, good for you. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what I love about it. Sometimes like people try and make it seem a forceful thing, but your faith is literally down to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you want to put your whole heart, put your whole heart. You're going to reap what you sow regardless. And the thing is, people will take that and be like, ooh, scary. But is that not day-to-day life? You literally, whatever you reap, wherever you sow, you will reap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's literally day-to-day life.
Yeah.
So if you want to put your whole heart, you can. If you don't want to, don't. It's literally down to you.
Yeah, 100%. And as much as you said that, now you feel great that you've got God to rely on, etc., and you don't look at anybody else's journey, blah, blah, blah. How long does that truly last for you? Like, do you ever, when does the moment where you're like this is...
Yeah. Oh, it happens. I think with us being humans, it would be a lie, and it would be so exaggerative for me to say that I have become a new person, but to say that my life is 100% good all the time because I found God, that's a lie. Do you know what I mean? Like, us being humans, we even let ourselves down, let alone letting other people down. Do you know what I'm saying? So I will have those moments where I'm overthinking on a crazy one. I will have those moments where I would have done something that literally makes no sense. Is that what God has called you to do? Absolutely not, but I've done it anyway. I will have those moments where I've like just completely walked out of the way. I'll have those moments where I've lied. I've had them where I've done a mad thing. Why have you done that, Henrie? I have moments where I've been rude. Like, you know when you're meant to, like, as somebody, people who serve God, you really are meant to move in love. Like, yeah, of course, like, people get upset, angry, or whatever. But even in that anger, you still move with love. I've moved with pure hatred. I would have moved with pure hatred, bro. So I've done that. But then with every action, there's a reaction, So it's like, all right, cool. Now that I've done this, what am I going to do to rectify? Like, where am I going to go from here? Am I going to continue to be wrong and strong? Or am I going to come back on myself, even though it might look embarrassing to the rest of the world? But really and truly, I've got something to do with God.
Yes.
God, do you know what I mean? It's me and God in this. It's not even me and you. It's not even about... Well, it is about the person at the end of the day, because you don't want them to feel bad. You've now done something to hurt them. But God is also looking at your heart. So I'm like, all right, cool. I know that my heart wasn't correct in this. How do I go back so I know that I've learned something from this, and even if it's embarrassment on me, then I deserve that embarrassment, because that's not how I should have acted in the first place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not what I should have done.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that. Like, even if I do feel down, or let's say I have looked at somebody else's journey, I literally have to stop myself mid-thought, and be like, all right, cool, this is not it. This is not where your mind is meant to go. This is not what God has even said over you or your life. So you just double back.
Yeah.
You just double back. Just circle back, and it's like, all right, cool, no, God has actually said this, and everything's going to be fine. And as long as I do the right thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, and even if it doesn't look fine, things will be fine. I've got faith. I believe. I'm ready. And once I keep saying that to myself, it means that it will take a shorter time for me to cut myself mid-sentence, as opposed to days on end, which is what I used to punish myself. Days on end. That's what we call depression, ladies. Literally punish myself days on end. Look at where you're working. You've got 0-hour contract job, and everybody else is working in the BBC. They're working here, there, and what 24, 25? You're still doing this. Days on end. When will I even give myself a break? When will I rest my own self? Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's not like perfect 100%, but once you strive for perfection, like, you're not gonna end up hitting the low ground that you were before. You're always gonna be higher than whatever you were thinking that. Do you know what I mean? That you was gonna be. So aim for the stars, reach the moon, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I hear you though. I hear you. In terms of your faith walk though, as well, what do you think was the hardest thing you had to let go of? And like literally have like a let go, let go and let God.
I love it. I love this question. Because, let me put the string down. Because literally my life is a living testimony of it. I had to let go of what I thought I wanted.
Okay.
This is career-wise.
Okay.
And because I've learned that career-wise, what I'm learning about faith is that, all right, cool, if God has done it in this, he can do it in everything else. You just have to learn to actually let go in everything. Because if God has worked one way in here, who's to say he won't? Exactly, he won't do it in everything else. So once I let go with my job, I'm telling you, the things that I'm doing now, they were not on my vision board. They were not on my list. There were not a single bar of it. Even down to me doing I did a docu-series, Is Your Area Changing, on gentrification. I never saw myself doing that. But one day I just filmed it and I just put it out. And I was like, oh, sick, this is doing really well.
Yeah, it's really good.
Like, I was like, fairs. And then Spotify. Why was I ever doing a podcast? I don't even know what podcasting is. Do you know what I mean? No, if I'm being serious and honest with myself, I'm a presenter. Do you know what I mean? I present and I DJ. So I never even thought about the scope of podcasting, because I never thought about myself there. But I was like, all right, cool, God, I'm gonna let go and let you, because I had to have that conversation. I need to let go, because maybe what I want for myself, maybe that's not even for me. If I'm serious, I would have seen myself at a different company altogether. I would have seen myself with a different broadcaster. I would have seen myself. But now that I'm here, everything has worked out in the exact way that it was meant to once I literally let go.
Yeah. I think that's the place. I wouldn't say it's the place that most people struggle with letting go, but I think in our climate and the visibility of social media and seeing what everybody else is doing, I think it's such a blessing because it's great for inspiration, but it's also terrible for benchmarking your own life against.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, as you said, you'll look at somebody else's life and then have to forcefully stop yourself not just you, but generally people have to stop themselves mid-sentence to say, this is actually, why am I comparing my life up against somebody else who you have no idea? And also, I'm also like a big advocate, like I write down lessons I learn all the time. The main lesson I learned last year is that everything costs something. Yeah. So despite what you want in this life, it's going to come at a cost.
Absolutely.
And comparison, the cost of comparison, people can't pay that back.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't pay that back. As you compare yourself to others, you genuinely will never be able to pay it back. Yeah. So I think letting go of, and I think it's fear, isn't it, really? Like people, as human beings, not achieving, and also of control. Yeah. Like, I feel like animals, although this sounds like we're kind of going in a completely different direction, but I feel like animals are so sure in like their extremities and what they can do, they move like clockwork. So
I've got
like,
a cat, I know exactly what you're saying.
They like, even if you look at it like an ant trail, at a particular time, they all come out, they all go together, and they all burrow. When you look at birds that fly from like the east to the south, they fly together like this to like support each other.
They don't even think twice.
No, one's not saying...
I look at my cat and I admire him. Not a fear in this world. Yeah. He will say, I'm jumping from here to here, and he will make it. Yeah. Is that normal? Yeah. For real? No, I definitely hear that.
It's
definitely.
That. It's the fear
Agreed.
Of the unknown. It's the fear of failure. It's also the fear of embarrassment. Yeah. And I think it's also the fear of rejection, and also the fear of, can I get back up again?
Yeah. And you can.
And I think a lot of people don't believe that about themselves.
I think once but the thing is, even with God, there's always been at some point in life, you might have not even noticed it or clocked it, but you have let go before. You've just been like, all right, cool, whatever. Let it just happen the way it's happened. And even the way it happened was good. Do you know what I mean? You just didn't realise that you were letting go and letting God. So again, it's God that has done it before, and it's a God that will do it again. So for me, I'm like, all right, cool, God has done it in my career. And I'm like, all right, cool. Am I going to let God do it in my love life? Am I going to let God do it in this area? Am I going to let... And it's like, so... It was almost so easy to do it here because I'm so fed up. But with your love life, you want to have all the control in the... in the entire world. Well, you want to control the person.
You're saying he needs to look like such.
Hello. What do you want to, my list was disgusting.
Have you met your list before?
No.
Do you know what?
No.
I met mine once, and I literally thought, oh my gosh. Yeah. This is the man that's in my journal. Yeah. Wow. Like, I literally thought, this type of thing had never happened to me so vividly. Yeah. Like, proper written something down to the T. Yeah. I've had write things down and seen it manifest in other ways, but like, it might be better than what I thought, or like, it turns out better over time. But I literally wrote down a man, and he appeared in front of me, and I was
that actually would sound scary.
Let me tell you something.
Sorry, it's giving Nollywood.
Let me tell you. After I got to know him, I was like, this is terrible. There's so much about like writing a list down that I think that we miss in like, there's some parts of people's character that you would just never write. Yeah. But that's the part of their character that you think, oh no. Yeah. Like, for example, I am very social, but also like, I'm very social. So one of my main love languages is quality time. He also valued quality time, but his quality time was like, if he's inviting me somewhere, he is also inviting all of his friends, and we're all going out together. But what he's not very good at was communicating that. Yeah. So when he's inviting me somewhere, I'm going expecting it to be me and him. But I'm going, I'm seeing what's going on. Can you okay? And I'm thinking,
oh, throw my shit. You've now turned up in heels and everyone's in night tech.
Why is everyone here? Like, for me, it's not even a problem that everyone's here.
Yeah.
But why didn't I know everyone was here?
I could have stayed at home.
I could have
I
stayed
might make
at
up
home.
today for you,
Yes.
stupid.
Yeah, ridiculous. I thought, no. And there was just other things about that particular guy's character that I thought, I would never write down, I don't want this.
Yeah.
But having seen what I wanted, you generally don't think about what it is that you don't want.
Yeah.
So even with regards to love, I think it's important to have some like foundational deal breakers, like I can't have a man that's on this, on that, or whatever. But I think I'm learning to be a lot more open to who. It's very difficult, but like
It's tiring.
yeah, it's tiring, and it's very. I find it like.
But then
Oh,
this is where humility comes into play, because if God knows better than us, then who the hell do we think we are saying to God, well, even though you know what's best for me, I actually want this. And so that's even me where I have like a bit of an issue. I know I do, because I know I'm like, yeah, I need to be open-minded. I do, and I know I do. But then when I see something I don't like, I'm gonna fight you. Like, we will have an issue.
Yeah.
And as much, even me, I want to let it go, but I'm like, God a second, because I'm going to kill this man. Do you know what I mean? And I know I need to stop. As much as I'm making a joke, I know I need to stop doing it. It's within my character, and I want it to be out of my character. So like like I was saying before, as much as it's like I've seen God work in this place, what I don't want to do is put God in a box where he can only work here and not work anywhere else, because he's a God that can do everything. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want to be able to let go and let God in every situation.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed. What do you think is, before we wrap, there's so many other things.
Oh my gosh, are we rapping? Do we have to?
There's, what time is it? 'Cause
No, sorry, please, because you've got a 4-year-old.
Is it 10? It's nearly 10. Oh my goodness. I can probably 15. I think, everything you said about faith is like so key and so important. For somebody who's like unsure about I think the language usually is like, I don't know about this God thing.
Yeah.
What encouragement would you give to somebody who's like open to it but just not really sure where to start, how to start? Do you start? Like, what would you suggest?
It's a really good question. Reading stories in the Bible helped me a lot, because it helped me to understand the nature of God. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, there's one thing of somebody telling you who God is. God is all forgiving. God is, but then you've actually seen in the Bible that there's sometimes that God doesn't forgive. So actually getting to know God yourself through the stories of the Bible, through different things, through having different friends of faith. Do you know what I mean? It will. Your interest in God, in the same way that you're interested in music, in the same, like, that's kind of what you have to have for God, like an actual love for the things of God, or else there's no point, because he's not a vending machine. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that the stories are a great place to start, because you actually can get to know who God is, and the stories are interesting.
Yeah.
The stories in the Bible come like EastEnders.
No, absolutely.
Sorry, David and Uriah and Bathsheba, is that her name? You know what I'm talking about?
Listen.
Do you know what story that is? Let me talk to you, babe. When I heard, so my pastor, she's Jamaican, I'm in love with her, because she, like, the way she told this story, I was crying tears. Yeah, because Jamaicans tell the best stories ever. You would have thought we were listening to a movie. I don't know what that means, but you would have thought we were listening to a movie. Yeah?
Yeah,
great
the
stuff.
Bible is, there is drama.
There's drama.
There's drama.
Let's talk about David, yeah? David is a man after God's heart. God loves him so much, destined for the throne, and he got to it, so he became king, yeah? And David at this time was a man of battle, winning every war, coming up and down, bodies, like, literally winning every battle, yeah? All in the name of God as well, enjoying himself. He's king at this time, and he's got like a best friend / lieutenant called Uriah, who was like lead commander, lieutenant, whatever, of the army. Now, David, one day, let's say he's sipping a cup of tea in his house, he looks over to his left, and down somewhere he can see somebody else's window. Let's say it's like flats in it. He can see through somebody else's window a woman showering. It's only Uriah, his wife. Uriah is the lieutenant / best friend / he sees his wife having a shower, bathing, naked. And he's like, I want that. So he goes there, sleeps with her. So that's your mate. So imagine like these times. Imagine you're sleeping with your friend's girl. Yeah. Are you crazy? Already? DVD. Like, why are you doing that? So he now goes and sleeps with the woman, and she becomes pregnant, I believe.
I can't remember the full story.
Okay, I believe that she becomes pregnant, and Uriah now is all excited. Yeah, my wife is pregnant. Rare tear.
And obviously he's thinking.
And so David obviously doesn't want the whole thing to come out. So he's like to Uriah, oh, don't come home yet. So Uriah's now still at war, like sending letters, I'm guessing, to David saying, yeah, I'm so excited, my wife is pregnant. David's like, don't come home yet, okay? Just don't come home, whatever. Or, oh, no, tell a lie, sorry. Let me say it properly. So David was like to Uriah, come home. So Uriah could sleep with the wife. And so it could be like, yeah, this is your baby. And Uriah is so loyal to the cause. They're fighting wars out there. Uriah's like, I know my wife is pregnant, but why would I come home? I literally have a job to do. I'm command lieutenant. I'm going to be out here winning. The baby will be born and we'll still be a family. And David's like, oh my days, this guy won't even come home to sleep with his wife. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't even. And so what David did, which was terrible, it was cruel. He said to Uriah, okay, cool. What you're going to do is you're going to fight on the front line. So I'm guessing if you're like lieutenant, commander, you're just telling people what to do. He goes, you're going to fight on the front lines. And David knew that by making him fight on the front lines, he would die. And the guy died.
Just so he wouldn't find out that
the baby was his. So I don't think Uriah ever knew that the wife was pregnant. What David wanted was for Uriah to come home first and impregnate the wife so they could like have sex or whatever. But Uriah never wanted to come home. So what David did instead was like, all right, there's nothing I can do. You're just going to have to go out and fight this war. And Uriah died. And when I say God was so upset with it, God was so upset. Because he was like, why have you done this? But then for me, okay, cool. So you see how I was talking to you about like, all right, see who God is, yeah? And what have you learned? What lust can do, bro. Like, why are you looking at stuff? Why was it so hard to keep it in your pants? But I can't be talking to David because me sometimes, do you know what I mean? Okay, not now. But like, back in the day, I'll go and be doing a man for what? And it always gets you into passa. When you deep it passa. When you really deep it, this all started from sex.
I just don't understand what worse circumstance would have come if this man came home to find out compared to him actually dying.
I think that David was feeling mad guilty.
It was guilt.
Like the guilt was eating him up. Alive. So it sounds crazy, but you know, like when you've gone out and you've done something, and I can only speak for myself because I know that I do it. Because with the stories in the Bible, you're meant to be able to see something in yourself, and it doesn't have to be the exact same thing. Because have I ever slept with someone's husband? No, I don't think. So, do you know what I'm saying? That's not. But you see it in yourself. So I see myself in David in that if I've done something that's a bit of a mad thing, I will run helter-skelter trying to make sure that thing either never comes out or that it looks good or it doesn't come off badly on me.
Trying to mask it in somebody else.
Mask it or try to like piece it together so it doesn't, but it will always break and it will always crack until you actually just open your mouth and say the truth. And you realise that everything that you've done in that time is a bag of overthinking. Like you said, why would you send that man out to die when you could just tell him the truth? Do you get it? But that's how our brains kind of work. Because I know myself, if I'm telling you a lie, why is Elton John in that story? Have I met Elton John before? But no, now. But do you see what I'm bringing bare things together to just try and make this shit work. Do you know what I'm saying?
Nothing.
Like,
it actually means nothing.
And do you know what? I'm so sorry I couldn't come to your birthday, yeah? Because Elton John called me to be a part of his like music video last week, and then, bruh, like Auntie Joshua just turned like it was crazy. But these things don't make sense. And then one day, that person will now just go and see Auntie Joshua outside. Oh yeah, he was at the birthday party. And do you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I get from it. Like he was doing the most, which is what we all do, to either try and mask, to try hide the shame, to try hide the guilt, to try and make something work, piece something together, when even if you've just done wrong, yeah, it's still not cute, but why not just say it? So, yeah, that's like, the stories in the Bible, super interesting, Samson and Delilah.
Yeah.
Great story. Great. Samson had locks that God said you shouldn't cut off, yeah? And Samson had girls on girls, and everyone would be trying to get him to cut off his locks. No. But one day he went to go and marry one girl, Delilah, that God told him not to marry, by the way. Yeah, because she was from a whole different other 7 different gods, whatever. Yeah. And Delilah was using all these tricks and scams to be like, babe, like, what's the secret to your hair? Like, how do we get you to cut it out? No, what's the secret to your hair? Like, where does your power come from? That was it. And the power was in the hair. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, babe, where's your power come from? And Samson was boasting. Instead of him to be like, yeah, do you know what? God is good. We've got power. We live to fight another day. He was like, yeah. He was giving them riddles. If you solve this riddle, I'll tell you where the power comes from. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And do you know what Samson reminds me of? The guys that wear Balenciagas. Do you get it? So is everything not making sense to you right now? He's in the club, flashing the watch.
Yeah,
Rollie. 50K. Do you know what I'm saying? Not that you can't have a Rollie. If you want an expensive watch, have it. Do you know what I mean? But he was not humble. He was like, I'm going to give you this riddle. If you solve this riddle, I'll tell you where it comes from. Knowing that they will never ever solve the riddle. So Delilah one day got him drunk. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. And then I'm guessing he gave up the source of his power, which was in his hair. And then Delilah went to go cut his hair off. Because Delilah's family secretly hated Samson. Can you see how you just put yourself in trouble? You could have just kept your mouth shut. Even if it was stupid baby that you wanted to go marry, just shush your mouth. Do you know what I'm saying? Man.
Yeah, the Bible
it's actually mad interesting. And I think that's what people don't know, that the Bible has good stories. And not even just that. Did you know that there's like a whole like love poem in the Bible? Songs of Solomon.
Yeah.
Go check it. When I saw that, I said, no guys, what's actually happening here? I said, God, what is actually happening here? It's the cutest thing I've ever read. Basically, it's like love poems between a man and a wife. I'm guessing it's Solomon or David or somebody. And the wife is so like, or the wife to be or girlfriend or whoever she is at the time, she loves him and he loves her. Yeah, and it's just, it's so beautiful. They're actually in love. She said, I will not stop until I bring you to my mother's house. I said, so cute. So cute.
Yeah, and I think the parallels that you made just now are so powerful. Yeah. So I think in so many ways, when people read those parables or those stories, they think literally exactly. And Javita made a valid point, like why would he send him to die instead of? And I think it's the parallel that you made that helps us see the humanity in some of these stories that seem so flamboyant. Yeah. But the crux of it is very much our day-to-day life. Oh, absolutely. Telling a lie and trying to cover up through hell and high water, doing this, moving this here, telling this thing here, Like,
and also not be like, it's people don't really clock it, but I clocked it even from the 2 stories. Not being with the right person. And how sometimes that can put you in mess.
Listen, I was listening to...
It can put you in mess.
What podcast I listened to? To my sister's podcast. Yeah. Fantastic podcast. And Courtney said words to the effect of, you could take a right turn into the wrong neighborhood, which is why discernment is very important. Yeah. So, like, you could meet someone, like I did, who looks great. Yeah. But that was a nice neighborhood, but a wrong turn. Yeah. Like... So really and truly, like, knowing who the right person is and knowing, and ultimately kind of boils down to integrity, I feel, in those situations. Like knowing where you're supposed to be and not getting gassed when you see something that looks shiny. Yeah. Because...
And I was a gassed by a shiny person, always. If you're handsome, I'm on it.
Hello? What's your... Have you got a celebrity crush?
No. It used to be Chris Brown.
Okay. That's the type, that's the vibe?
Not anymore. No. He doesn't... I don't think anyone...
I think Chris Brown's nice, you know?
He's not, but I'm not like infatuated. I used to be infatuated. Okay. Like I used to love him with every fibre of my body. Not anymore though. Okay. I don't think there's anyone that's like, there's handsome people, but I'm not like, with my mind, yeah. But I think the Bible's really interesting when it comes to like relationships as well, and relationships with friends, relationships, romantic relationships with pets. It's so interesting.
It's like life lessons.
No, for real, actual life lessons. Yeah. And I think maybe that's what another thing is as well. Like, don't think whatever your thoughts were of the Bible, just take it out until you actually read a story. And I want to be able to read the Bible from start to finish, but sometimes you can just go on Google and just be like a theme, and a story will just come up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And it will just be there, and you'll be reading it, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I never knew this happened.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew. And it's like, it's so interesting. I love the Bible.
Yeah. And I think that is a great suggestion for people who are new to the faith or are a bit intrigued. Like, read those types of things because you see the life lessons in them.
Absolutely.
In terms of life lessons, what do you think is the hardest lesson that you have learned this year?
This year? That you can't control people's thoughts and actions. That shouldn't be hard because that's literally life. It's the truth that you literally can't control. But then when you are somebody that, again, it's about letting go, innit?
Mm-hmm.
When you are someone that wants to see things look a certain way or whatever, like even down to the small things, I know that God is teaching me in. Because even down to a makeup look, I will say, I want this, 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 and this. And what I ask for doesn't actually suit my face. Or I want this hair, I need it to look like this, 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 and this. And what I actually ask for doesn't really suit. But once I realised that, all right, cool, let me actually have something called faith. And leave the creativity to where it is or where it needs to be, and just be like, all right, it's in your hands or it's in God's hands, and let it just ride out. That's kind of how I should be in everything. Obviously, once you're in it in one thing, you should be in it in everything. So that's been quite hard. It's something that I'm still like trying to get my heart to a place. Yeah. But I'm learning still.
Listen, lifelong.
Yeah.
Lifelong. I think, I have a similar, I'm going to say had, because I'm speaking in faith. I had a similar struggle where I struggled to not base people's actions on, or like benchmark people's actions against what I would do if I was in their situation.
Oh, yeah.
Or like if I was in a position to do something if I was in a position to do something, how I would respond, and then how would they respond. And I think, but if the situation was reversed, why would I?
Sorry, because that's literally me right now. And it's so, like, because then you end up being a judger. Like, you end up being a bit
judgmental. And you also end up never being satisfied with other people's pure intention. Like, some people have a genuine... feel seen.
No, I understand that, but I get it.
Henrie said, I hear you. I hear you.
You're right.
Yeah. So, I think... I feel like that's the thing with being a self-aware person, and also someone that's like open, because you're constantly learning something. But as you learn something, you're constantly faced with a mirror. And I think that's the piece that like people are like, but that's the like push through. But
it should feel awkward, and I feel like if it feels a bit uncomfortable, maybe you're doing something wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like me, I feel uncomfortable now because I'm already looking back at my life. I'm like, it was a bit shit. Do you know what I mean? Like you didn't need to do that, or you like sounded a bit judgy, or exactly what you said. You're benchmarking what you've done as if what you've done is even so great anyway, because there's people that have done better. Are they? Do you know what I'm saying?
100%. You fall short for somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I completely
and we all fall short for God, so nobody can
so
say
then when do we go from here?
Yeah, exactly.
So I hear you.
Yeah, I get it. No one's better than anyone, are they?
There we go. There we go. Career-wise, moving it back to career. Yeah. What are you most excited about for your future?
I'm excited to see where my journey leads. Like when people are like, oh yeah, what do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years? I'm always like, I don't know, because I don't think I'd be doing what I'm doing now.
5 years ago,
So I'm excited to see all the new opportunities, all the new things, all the new ventures that I was just never expecting coming to fruition. I'm excited to enjoy it. So like, I know that people always have goals and plans, but I really enjoy doing what I just enjoy it right now. We'll see what happens.
Vibes, and I think that's the beauty of life, really. Like enjoying it and just being open to where it takes you, and ultimately knowing that like whatever God's plan is, it's gonna be way better than whatever you could write.
Exactly.
And just having the right people alongside you.
Absolutely.
I had another thought, but this is like another half an hour conversation. But I think that it's been like such a joy to see someone like you like enjoy yourself, like you actually look like you enjoy your life.
No, I do.
And I think a lot of the time people look like they're like, do you know what I mean? And like it kind of looks like they're enjoying it, but like as soon as the lights are off and everything's done.
We don't know what's happening.
Yeah, and everyone goes through their own stuff, but I definitely would say, like, you actually bring such a joy because it really looks like you enjoy, like you really enjoy your life.
God bless you.
God bless you. No, you look like you enjoy it.
Guys. No, thank you so much.
You look like you enjoy your life.
It's taken a while to get there because I don't think I was always enjoying the industry. I wasn't always. It's taken a while, but I think that if that's visible, then I'm really happy with that. Like really, really, and that's all that I can ever want, just to continue to be happy. Because I feel like even if you like making millions or you're doing like the best job or what everyone sees as the best job, but you're not actually enjoying yourself, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I like enjoyment, as I call it.
No, honestly,
for real.
Honestly, it definitely looks like you enjoy yourself.
No, thank you so much.
I share all of your socials where people can follow you.
Sure.
What your where people how can people actually show up for you, support you?
Sure. So sorry. Okay. So
not you taking your hair out ready for something.
No, I am. I am. Sorry, I was hoping you guys would know.
I was like, sis is saying, you know what?
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm even looking at the time. I'm Henrie VIII, as in HENRIE VIII, and it's always like annoying having that as my at now. Because first of all, I don't want to change it. I love it because I made it when I was a nerdy year 9er. Because it's Henrie VIII. And it took people like a while. I was like, bro, we literally all went to school. What's happening here? But very confusing for me. And I really thought, puns. And this is how you know I used to listen to Radio 1, innit? Because literally that's such a big pun. So yeah, I'm Henrie VIII everywhere. Hetty, it's so funny seeing the Hetty Hoover here. They used to call me Hetty in nursery.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my dad used to call me Hetty. Yeah, that's it really. I'm Henrie VIII everywhere. Well, you can catch me out a road, really. I literally take the tram and the tubes. You will catch me on a bus one of these days.
And what's your show?
We've got Who We Be Talks, but we're on a sabbatical at the moment.
Okay.
So Who We Talks will be coming back, or Who We Be, shall I say? Wink. Will be coming back. I'm also on Kiss every Saturday and Sunday morning, breakfast 6 to 8 a.m. And then I am on Kiss Fresh every Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m.
Love that. Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Guys, this was so much fun. Thank you so much for having me. I had a lot of fun. Thank you
so glad you came. We're done.
No, thanks.
Yay.